Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Carpe Natem Podcast. I'm your host, Nate Della Hoya-Reynoso, and I want to thank you for listening to this next episode of the podcast. To be 100% truthful, this episode was recorded a few months ago, and it is amazing to see the difference, not only in myself, but of everything that has changed around me in these couple of months since recording this. I noticed myself judging the content of this episode, the message I was trying to get across, the way I was saying it. But to stick to the theme of the episode and to stay true to my word, I'm releasing it anyway, despite my own judgments on it of myself. I'm releasing it out into the world. I hope you enjoy this episode. So let's jump on in, and thank you again for giving this episode a listen. Before we start, I would like to apologize to anybody listening to this podcast for cursing. If I'm going to deliver my message in my most authentic self, it will involve cursing. So now that you've been warned, today's topic is nobody gives a shit about you. It stings, doesn't it, to hear those words? You've probably been told that by someone who is mad at you or who is trying to hurt your feelings. I am neither mad at you nor am I trying to upset you. I say this so that you can truly unlock your full potential. Listen to me very clearly. Nobody gives a shit about you. You may have friends and family that care about you and that love you. That's different. When I say nobody gives a shit about you, the message I'm trying to deliver is that your actions, your dreams, the thing that you want to do, it doesn't matter to anyone but you. So often do I see people criticize themselves harder than anyone will ever criticize them for anything that they do. They beat themselves up, they take themselves out before even starting. They fail to take action on the project that they really want to be a part of because they feel that people are out against them, that somebody won't like what they do. Somebody will say something about their project, their podcast, their music. Whatever it might be, somebody's going to have an opinion about it, and it's going to be negative. Hey, buddy, let me tell you, nobody gives a shit. True, there will be haters. There will be people who will troll you just for the sake of trolling. There are people who love bringing others down to their level because they are in such a place of misery and suffering that they have to lower others to their level so that they can get some sort of satisfaction. And if that's the people that are coming after you, their opinions probably matter the least. Whatever you do, whatever you choose to pursue, the thing that you want the most, if you are going after it, the only person's opinion that needs to matter is yours. Now, of course, there's some caveats to that. There's obviously people who you are in a relationship with. There are people that you live with. There are responsibilities that you have. So when making a very large life-altering decision, you should take into consideration the safety and the health of people that you directly impact. But even then, those people shouldn't stop you 1,000% from doing the thing that you love. If your mom or your dad doesn't believe in you and your dream of being a stand-up comic, that's them. That has nothing to do with your ability to be funny, your ability to get on stage, your resilience to bomb on stage and still get back up on stage. If you want to start a business and you want to go into sales and you have friends who don't believe that you're a good salesman, or you can't be one of the top 1% earners, or you can't do that because not everyone makes it to the top and you for sure won't be able to make it. First off, fuck people who talk to you like that. And if you're still calling people that talk to you like that friends, maybe you should get some new friends. If you yourself are growing and are advancing and are expanding, you are leveling up, you should also level up the people you associate with. Surround yourself with people that you trust, that you know will only encourage you and pick you up when you fall down. Of course, there are going to be people who are making tremendous mistakes, and out of the good nature of our hearts, we are going to want to stop them from, of course, doing something crazy, like getting a face tattoo of a girl's name that you just met in a bar. If your friend tells you to stop from doing that, that's a good friend. But a friend who stops you from, let's just say, becoming a rapper, or making music with a guitar, or taking piano lessons. Maybe your dream is to be a baker, or maybe have your own taco stand. Whatever it is, it's your dream. It's what you want to do. If you're putting in the work, if you're being about it, if you're walking more than you're talking, then their approval is the last thing you need to get up off your ass and make it happen for you. People will comment and weigh in on their opinions. They'll project their own beliefs and limitations on you because they themselves can't do what you think that you can. So they'll again try to bring you down to their level. They're not the ones in the trenches. They're not the ones putting in the work. You are. So seeking their validation or their approval is as useless as trying to get a dead horse to race in the Kentucky Derby. It's not going to happen, and you're better off throwing those useless thoughts and opinions, just like the dead horse, into an incinerator and letting it go off in the wind. So, at the beginning of this podcast, I said, nobody gives a shit about you. What that means is that no matter what you do in this life, people will still do what they do. Whatever you're doing isn't going to stop someone from paying their bills or from getting to work on time or preventing anyone from getting their education or curing cancer. What you do does not prevent anyone from doing anything in most cases, in like 99% of the cases. So even when they comment and they make their opinions and they put you down and they brush you off, they don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about what you can bring to the table, about what you've been through, about your resilience. They don't give a shit that you are willing to put in the time, the effort, the tenacity, all that momentum and energy behind a force of nature and crush the dream that you're after. They don't care. You know who does care? You care. Your opinions and your beliefs of you are what matter the most. And if you are sitting here and listening to this and you can't think of anything good about yourself, I highly recommend this next exercise. You know at least 5 people, right? There's at least 5 people that you either admire or who know you or understand you to an extent. It could be a grandparent, your favorite cousin, maybe you have a best friend, maybe you have 2 best friends, maybe you have a coworker that you get along with, maybe you have a boss that likes you. Find 5 people and ask them if they could name 3 good qualities about you. Ask your dad, what are 3 good qualities about me? Ask your mom, what are 3 things that you admire about me? Ask your best friend, what are 3 things that I'm good at? Collect that information and read it to yourself out loud. You will be surprised how many good things people have to say about you, especially if you do good things, if you are a good person. Even if you're not a good person, I know plenty of bad people that have friends that say good things about them. Build your own self-worth. Get the validation from the person that matters the most. And the person that matters the most is you, baby. Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg aren't reading the comment sections on YouTube. They're too busy doing what they know they have to do to get to the next level. And they're crushing it harder than anyone else on this planet. You think any of the top 1% are losing sleep over articles written over them or mean comments written about them on Twitter? Absolutely not. There's no way that they have, with the amount of time that they spend on their projects, on their resources, on their job, on their passion projects. You think they have the time to go through looking for negativity? Absolutely not. It'll come to them and they'll witness it. But do you really think they spend that much time mulling over the comments of some individual that they don't even know? Or maybe it is somebody that they do know. If you know that in your heart what you're doing is making you happy and is making you a better person and is making life worth waking up for, then there is no other opinion that matters than your own. Understand that no one giving a shit about you is a blessing. It's so freeing to know that no matter what I do, it will automatically come with hate and comments and the whole slew of people against me. But at the end of the day, they can't stop me from doing what I want to do and from advancing myself. They can't stop me from coming back from any setback that I have. People are too preoccupied with their own shit. Everyone's got bills and struggles of their own, so much so that they can't spend all their time keeping you down. They may do it as a recreational hobby, but at the end of the day, they don't care whether you sink or swim. They don't care whether you do great or you do bad. They hope that you do bad so that they don't feel as bad about themselves for not succeeding or going after what they really want. And of course, you will have those people in your life that support and love what you do, and no matter whether your idea is silly or maybe not going to plan, they will back you up because those are good people. Those come with the package too. It's not just all hate. But even the people that support you, if you aren't taking money out of their pocket, if you're not taking food from their mouth, if you're not burning the house that they live in, they probably don't give a shit about you. So you are free to do whatever you want. Do you want to crush it in your sales job so that you can go to the strip club 3 times a week and get booties bouncing on you? Go for it! Is your dream to own your own yacht so that you can go boating whenever you want? Go for it! Is what you want a loving home and a beautiful family and educated kids? Then go for it. Again, no one cares what you do because they are preoccupied with whatever they're doing. So don't let others stop you from doing what you want to do, what you need to do. Take the weight off your shoulders. Feel the relief of not having to appeal to anybody except you, yourself. Maybe you don't know what you want. Ask yourself, what do I want? If I had the perfect life, what would I have? Write that down. Write 5 things. If you had the perfect life, what would you have? What 5 things would you have? Is it a beautiful home? Is it a loving wife or husband? Is it beautiful children? Is it a happy and healthy body? Is it gold chains and Prada bags? Is it Gucci flip-flops and Adidas tracksuits? Is it amazing relationships and the ability to travel wherever you want, whenever you want? Is it the ability to speak to whomever you'd like to, whether it be a billionaire, a scientist, or anyone in the world? If you wanted to speak to that person, does having a perfect life mean that you can connect with those people? Once you have those 5 things written down and you're serious with your exercise, you took it seriously and you wrote down the 5 things that would make, quote unquote, your perfect life. Do any of those things affect the happiness of others? Do any of those things hurt or harm anyone in any way? By you succeeding, do you prevent someone else from succeeding? By having these things, do you harm or hurt or lessen someone's chance of survival? If the answer is no, then you don't have to worry about anyone else's opinion except yours. I'm trying to ingrain this into your brain. No one gives a shit about you, my friend. And that is a blessing because you don't have to go out of your way to make anyone else happy unless that's what makes you happy, unless that's what benefits you, unless that's what brings you joy in life. For example, I love my mother, I love my father, and I love my wife. Those are 3 people whose opinion I value so much. But when I wanted to be a metal band frontman, I was told by my parents that that shit's fucking crazy. There's absolutely no money in it, and I will face nothing but hardships and struggles. Did I face hardships and struggles when I pursued that dream? Absolutely. But did I pursue that dream and did I take it to the highest possible extent that I could? Absolutely. I can die knowing that I did what I wanted to and accomplished dreams that I would have never been able to do if I had listened to their naysaying. And that's my mom and dad. I love my mom and dad. They're amazing people. And in their mind, they thought by discouraging me or by not letting my head get too big with whatever I was doing, they thought that they were preventing me from having some sort of hardship or saving me from some sort of heartache. And honestly, some of their advice would have been better to have taken in the moment. But you live and you learn. I wouldn't be who I am without making the mistakes that I have made. And I am grateful for the lessons that I was taught from my mistakes. But what I learned was that it didn't matter if I was a metal vocalist, if I had a crowd of 1,000 or a crowd of 3. It didn't matter. I was doing what I loved, and it didn't matter the opinions of others of what I was doing, of how successful I was or how good I was doing it. I was happy. I was doing the thing that I loved and that I wanted to do and follow and pursue, and that's what counts. And during that time, none of the things that I did ever took a dime out of my parents' pocket or prevented them from paying their rent or prevented me from eating or surviving or doing any of those things. I made sure that I was able to take care of my business, and I was also able to take care of my passions and my dreams. I am so blessed to have a very supporting and loving wife. My wife is super encouraging, and recently I've been doing stand-up comedy. I was writing jokes are funny, tested them out, went on stage, and I bombed! And my wife was so encouraging and so loving. With her love, I was able to not only increase my ability to be resilient, but I was able to go back the next week and try again, and I did way better the second time. And I'm excited for future open mics because by practicing, by really honing in on my skills, I can improve. It doesn't have to be stand-up comedy. It could be art. It could be music. It could be someone who wants to start their own business teaching pole dancing classes or maybe selling jade eggs that they use for Kegel exercises. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to tell you whatever that you want to do, you should go for it. Fuck what everyone else thinks because they don't give a shit about you. You do you. Do it guilt-free. Do it with a clean conscience, knowing that the only person that you're trying to make happy is you. Pursue that dream to the fullest extent because you know that what you're doing is right for you, and whatever success comes from it, it'll be from your hard work, your effort. And whether you're succeeding or failing, you're going to be able to look at the people who doubt you, who are hating on you, who are trying to bring you down to their lower level, and look them straight in the eye and say, I don't give a shit about you either. Let's end this episode with another quote. This one comes from Scott Steibel. He is an author and a love activist, and his quote is, "Let them judge you. Let them misunderstand you. Let them gossip about you. Their opinions aren't your problems. You stay kind, committed to love, and free in your authenticity. No matter what they do or say, don't you dare doubt your worth or the beauty of your truth. Just keep shining like you do." Thank you for listening to another episode of the Carpe Natem Podcast. Please give us a follow on all social medias under Carpe Natem 114. If you really enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing or leaving us a review on Apple iTunes. You can find more information about me and this podcast at carpenatem114.com. There you can find links to all our episodes that you can stream for free, and of course you can download and listen to the Carpe Natem Podcast anywhere you enjoy podcasts. This has been your host, Nate De La Hoya-Reynoso, and thank you so much for being a listener.